Hello again, everyone, and how's it going? Welcome to the Domogeny. So you're probably wondering, where have I been for the past few months? Well, all well and good. All right, I've been healthy, I've been safe, I've been fine. All right, it's just that there's been a lot of life changes that have occurred over the past few months, and also just a lot of stress that involved these life changes. Okay, so as you're noticing, different room. All right, if you hear a loud fan noise right now, that is the air conditioner unit. My bedroom is like right next to a utility slash laundry room in a room I'm renting out in the house that an old coworker of mine is also at. That's how I found this place was through him. Okay, so how I ended up here is just a convoluted mess of moving around. And what had happened was the previous place that I had been living, it was probably like the last video I uploaded was probably at the previous place. I'd have to take a look again. Either that or was back home, but I'll get to those details in a moment here too. And the place I'd been living at previously was an apartment that I was renting a room out in that had belonged to a coworker's friend's dad. Okay, so when the lease ended on that place, the guy decided not to renew my lease because he wanted to use the room for other purposes. Eventually, what had happened with that was my friend's boyfriend had moved in, and then he took the room instead. All right, so that's what happened there. So when I was in between moves, I was living in my dad's old camper trailer, parked out at my mom's old house, and my mom's old house was being worked on, basically renovated, updated. I'll get into more details on stuff that happened with that as well too in this video. So I was there, just going around on Craigslist trying to find a place I could move into. First place I found, I had some issues with living there, partly because one of my roommates kept waking up in the wee hours of the morning, just banging shit around. My room was like right next to the kitchen in that place, and it got to the point where I couldn't stay there anymore, partly because of the noise, and I wasn't getting adequate sleep at night, and it was kind of a little bit far from where I was working at the time. And so since it was a month-to-month rent, I was there for a month, found a different place I could move to. I did a story time video about this one, so if you want more information on that one, I'll link below the story time over on the Dirkmation channel, and it'll go into details about what happened there if you care to watch that. Just to add in a couple of minor details that I think I might have left out in that video. This guy was a quack. He was kind of weird. He was like one of those people that had his glasses, like they look like goggles almost, strapped onto his head, and long stringy hair, beanie. And the guy looked creeper AF, and I still ended up staying with the guy anyway for about 2 months I was there, until one of my friends actually told me to get the heck out of there, and it's a good thing that she did too. One of the weird things that this guy also did was how I do cosplay stuff, right? And there was a piece of fabric on the floor near my room, and the guy saw it on the floor and he freaked out over it. He's all like, "What's that?" And he kind of like I start to walk over to it, and he kind of like does this kind of thing, kind of cowers and runs to the opposite side of the hall from where I am, and he's kind of like just in the corner, like, "Is it a Band-Aid?" And I just pick it up, and I'm like, no, piece of fabric, probably came off one of my cosplays, and it's like the guy broke my gaming desk, not this one over here. This one's similar though. This one came with this room. But the other one I had, he broke it with helping me try to move it and stuff. And then of course, he blamed me for it. And this shoddy craftsmanship because of the fact that it was like, $100 desk off of Amazon, which, is kind of crap compared to the one that my mom bought me when I was a teenager, which I still have. I just don't have it here. And, oh my God, so one of my friends, I told her about the situation. She's like, "Yeah, you need to get the heck out of there." So, New Year's Eve, I got most of my stuff out, and then like that guy, after I left, moved all my stuff down into his garage so I could more easily move it out when I came to pick it up with my dad and my friend. And because and a civil assist too, because I also needed to have that just in case the guy started to wig out and stuff like whatnot, freak out over things. But and then I ended up here, okay, where I'm currently at now, and better living environment, you know, because at least I know at least one person personally over here too. But like the other people who live here are fairly decent as well. You know, no real major issues. I mean, if you watch my videos on the Turkmation thing, yeah, I did have one problem with the one guy doing the whole stereotypical "don't touch the thermostat" dad trope. I didn't realize it was a thing, but apparently it is. You know, there's a video about that as well. So, the one thing that gets to me the most, though, with the situation that I'm in is if I made the right decision in all of this. And my friends tell me that I really didn't really have much other choice in this situation. So after my mom passed away, okay, I inherited her house. And my older siblings would bully me. They bullied me prior to my mom passing away too, but they didn't really do it as aggressively or as much, probably because, you know, my mom, whenever, you know, my siblings would bully me, she backed me up. Okay. And so since the house responsibility fell on me after her passing, because, you know, I inherited the house, therefore I become the new landlord, it's like, oh, let's all gang up on me, right? You know, when things just don't go their way. And it got to the point where my older brother actually started to bully me in such a manner where it was affecting this food anxiety problem I've had for a few years, where I'll panic or get concerned about the quality of food. All right, and when I was trying to cook, okay, I was cooking in the kitchen, and a mouse had gotten caught in a trap that we had underneath the fridge in the kitchen. All right. And since I can't deal with the mousetrap, I need to cook. I asked my brother, "Hey, can you dispose of this for me?" You know, and so he had no problems with doing that. He went and disposed of the mouse and the mousetrap and stuff. But when he came back in, he hadn't washed his hands, right? And he comes over into my cooking area to grab some paper towels so that way he can clean up some cat mess that's on the floor in the other room. And it got me to the point where I got kind of anxious because of the fact that he didn't wash his hands after touching a mouse. You know, as a mice carry all kinds of, you know, like really disgusting diseases and stuff like that. And he's coming into my cooking space. So I got a bit anxious about it and stuff like that. And then later on, my older brother started, you know, making fun of me for that, like coming into my room and putting his hands out like this, you know, to try to like antagonize me that, you know, he touched the mouse and he knows that's bothering me, so he instigates that further. Okay. And then I had told one of my older brothers about it too, to kind of like back me up, and of course he did, you know, but like as the days went on, he would get mad at me over other things too and bully me for other things as well too. So I got to the point where I had to move out, okay, of my own home that was willed to me by my mom, because living with my siblings was becoming problematic. And so here we are, okay, and there's other details that I feel like I would go into as well too in this video, but I really don't want to get like too worked up and emotional trying to explain more things, you know, about the situation, because I tried to in another video where I was trying to do a review on Final Fantasy 16 where I was going into the details about like the bond and the relationship that the two brothers in the game have, and I couldn't do it partly because of the fact that it reminded me so much of something that I didn't have with my older brothers growing up. And seeing this, just the way you would think that siblings should be, to be supportive for each other, wasn't there. And it got to me emotionally to the point where I couldn't do the review. Okay, and like I said, I don't want to go into like a whole lot of details about it because I want to get stuck to the point where I can't do this update video and explain to you, everyone, what's been going on in my life for the past few months. Maybe another time I can. But so that's why there hasn't been any uploads really, except for a couple of experimental shorts, you know, that I've done in cosplay using YouTube's AI feature. And then, you know, also of course I did the hey open up meme with Madam from Jacob Blitz Tactics. I plan on doing one with what was her name? It was like Triple Z, I think, from Jacob Blitz Tactics, the woman with the also with purple hair, but hers with darker purple and the burgundy outfit. But I was gonna do one for her too, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. What I want to do for a next future video for this channel is, since it's 2026, so now we're currently in the beginning timeline of Agent Ica, so starting with Ica R16, which takes place in 2016, and I want to do a video discussing that, you know, since we're in that beginning part of that timeline. One of my other recommendations I had from one of my viewers was talking about the live action Agent Ica video that came out in, like, I think it was like 2007 is what they said is when it came out. So it's kind of weird that it came out like a promotional video and live action came out like 10 years after Agent Ica came out, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, so there it is. And I dug out one of my my Delmo cosplays, because I might do some TikTok videos in that one at some point too. I don't know where my purple wig is, because the one I've cosplayed as, of course, as you know, was the Black Delmo leader with the purple hair, and I have no idea where the wig is. But it's like, it doesn't really matter anyway when it comes to, like, say, Delmos, because of the fact that there's so many of them. You can do your hair however you want and just put on the cosplay. You're a Delmo, you know, because there's so many. I mean, like, there's specific ones, you know, that are pretty, you know, iconic, you know, of course, like the purple-haired girl, and there's also Naomi, you know, and I think was it Yuki Sai, and there's like another one I can't remember the name of, but they're all, you know, they have their, you know, you can tell who they are just by their hair alone. But yeah, anyway, so there you go, that's what's going on with that. And give me, like, maybe next week I can try to get something out, you know, that goes back into talking about, like, the characters in the anime and stuff like that. I'll try to throw something together. I do have Nandesicon coming up, which is an anime convention, of course, at the end of the month, so I'm planning for that. I'm not doing any Ica cosplays this year for that one. We got like a whole, like, list of new ones. I'm doing one of my own, like, OCs that I'm gonna be doing, and then next con after that I have is Anime Nebrascon. And that's where I found that Stratos 4 pencil board, by the way. And I should probably do a video on Stratos 4 at some point as well, too. And then DakuCon, of course, which is our 18 and up anime convention that we have in Colorado that you should sometime check out. If you're ever in Colorado, come by DakuCon. We got a lot of fun stuff. I'm sure you'd all enjoy there. I should probably do a panel for Ica at Daku at some point, because I could go into talking about, like, more stuff with it being like a con that's specifically for ages 18 and older, you know, so I could go into more details about, like, the characters and the storyline and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's gonna be all for this one. Thanks again for watching. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment below. I guess that's all I've got for right now. Recording this on a new phone, by the way, so hopefully it turns out good and stuff. And yeah, so, thank you, and as always, stay safe out there.